2 years ago, the Senate Democratic leader rallied a crowd on the steps of the Supreme Court and threatened judges by name if they did not resolve an abortion case the way he wanted. Here was the quote. "I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions." This incitement triggered rare public rebukes from the Chief Justice himself and even the liberal American Bar Association. But apparently the radical left heard their marching orders loud and clear. Since the precedent-setting leak of a draft opinion last week, the left has set out to harass and intimidate sitting judges as they consider a pending case. We've seen angry crowds assemble at judges' private family homes. Activists published a map of their addresses. Law enforcement has had to install a security fence around the Supreme Court itself, trying to scare federal judges into ruling a certain way is far outside the bounds of First Amendment speech or protest. It is an attempt to replace the rule of law with the rule of mobs. It appears this may possibly be flat out illegal. There's a federal law on the books that criminalizes, quote, pickets or parades, end quote, with the intent of influencing any judge, juror, witness, or court officer at locations, listen to this, that include a judge's residence. Last year, Attorney General Garland's Justice Department was quick to treat the concerned parents of America like potential domestic terrorists. But curiously, I haven't heard any announcement about how the DOJ may handle these intimidation tactics aimed directly at federal judges. Washington Democrats have gone out of their way to fuel the hysterical, potentially dangerous climate. The president's statement about the unprecedented leak didn't condone it. His press secretary has repeatedly appeared to endorse rallies at judges' private family residence as long as they don't turn into outright violence. The senior senator from Massachusetts stood on the Supreme Court steps and shouted, quote, "We're going to fight back." Democrats are renewing their calls to break the Senate in order to pack the court. They want to destroy two institutions for the price of one. One liberal Georgetown law professor helpfully summarized their mission as follows. He explained this past weekend that the key moral difference between this pressure campaign and the January 6th riot is that in this case, quote, now listen to this, the mob is right. So what has generated this reckless outrage? What is the Armageddon over which Democrats want to break the Senate, pack the court, and condone potentially illegal rallies outside judges' family homes? Here's the case in question. Whether the state of Mississippi can enact an abortion law that would still be more liberal than laws in Germany, France, and Switzerland. This is the case that's driving these hysterics. The possibility that abortion laws might begin to move away from China and North Korea and closer to Germany, France, and Switzerland. That's what prompted the calls to destroy our institutions and surround judges' family homes. That's why a pro-life nonprofit in Wisconsin got a Molotov cocktail through its window, and activists call for disruptions of Sunday worship. Today's Democratic Party is profoundly out of step with the American people on this issue. Their extreme position ignores modern science and public opinion. Leader Schutter wants the Senate to vote again on a Democratic bill that would effectively legalize abortion on demand through all 9 months. Their bill is written to protect abortionists rather than mothers. It would roll back health regulations. It would attack America's conscience rights and religious freedoms. It would overturn modest and overwhelmingly popular safeguards like waiting periods, informed consent laws, and possibly even parental notification. And it's written that so in practice, it would allow effective abortion until birth. Democrats' extreme position is radical on a global scale and wildly unpopular with the American people. Only 34% of Americans believe abortion should be legal in all or most cases into the second trimester. That drops to 19% in the third trimester, but that is what Democrats' bill would allow in practice. Every Senate Democrat but 2 and every House Democrat except a handful have put their name on this as co-sponsors. That means 97% of Washington Democrats support a position that only 19% of Americans actually want. So I'll say that again. 97% of Democrats in Congress are co-sponsors of an outcome that has 19% public support. And notwithstanding inflation, energy insecurity, open borders, a violent crime wave, and a war in Europe, Democrats want to spend this week explaining their extremism. Some Democrats even want to try again to break the Senate in order to ram this through. I've clearly stated I will never support smashing the legislative filibuster on this issue or any other. Yet Democrats want to wreck our institutions over their fringe position that Americans do not share. I can understand why my colleagues want to distract from their governing record. Their policies have created a living nightmare for working families, but Democrats' extreme and unpopular position on abortion is not going to bail them out. It just gives Americans yet another reminder that the radicals are running the show.